Alrighty, so now before we learn how to graph an exponential function, we need to learn how to find the values of an exponential function, which is our first topic for today, is making a table for an exponential function. So let's do a couple of examples. So example one, let's actually do example two first. Okay, I think it'd be better for us if we just started with a whole number. Okay, so we have h of x is equal to 4 to the x. Okay, so we're given x, and then we have f of x is equal to 4 to the x. Alright, so what are the x values we want to find? We just want to find -2, -1, 0, 2, and 4. Alright, so I'm going to use the right side to calculate the values, and then I'll just put the values over when we're done. Alright, so to find these values, so it's just as if we were solving linear functions, quadratic, any type of thing, is that what do? Is that where, like with the x value that we're given, we just plug this x into our function. So we are let me just change the table, just expand it a little bit. Right, so if we have this is f of -2. What is f of -2? It is 4 to the -2. What do we know about exponents? So I guess I will bring it over here, sorry. So what do we know about the 4 to the -2? So if I have 4 to the -2, from our exponent rules, this is a negative exponent. What does that mean? I'm going to bring this downstairs. All right, even so that if this was like 4 to the negative, how about I just use a general? So if I have 1 over a to the negative b, this will be a to the b. All right, and we just solve. So this is 1, and then 4 squared is 16. So this is equal to 1 over 16. Okay, so I guess I'll put it over here to be more clear. This is 1 over 16. And then for -1, same thing. It's going to be f. My pen would work. Alright, if I have f of -1, what is that? That is 4 to the -1, so just bring it downstairs to get 1 over 4 to the 1. But 4 to the first power, that's just 4. So we get 1/4. Right? And then like our fifth property, so f of 0, this is 4 to the 0. But what do we know? Anything to the 0 power. Okay. If it's not 0, if the base isn't 0, then our answer is 1. Okay. F of 2, this is 4 squared, and this is 8. And then lastly, f of 4, this is 4 to the 4th, which is 256. So 4 times 4, 4 times 4. What I do is this is 16, and then I know this is 16, and then so 16 squared. So these are perfect squares. That's how I know it's 256. Right. So let me just fill it out over to the right here, just to be a little more formal. So this is 1, this is 16, and then this is 256. Right? So yeah, not too bad. All you gotta do is just plug in some values, and you just have to remember what you do when you see a negative exponent and what you do if you see a 0. Right? So let's do one more example. Okay, so now let's do example 1. We're given f of x is equal to 1/3 to the x. Right? So, since I'm filling it out on the right, I'm just going to solve for the values on this on OneNote, and then I'll write my final answer. Right? So if x is equal to -2, what does that mean? That means f of -2 is equal to 1/3 to the -2. What does this mean? Since there's a -2 here, that means I just put it to the bottom. Okay? So this becomes 3, sorry, I'm going to put 3 over 1 squared, which is 9. Another way to look at it is you can just distribute. So this is 1 to the -2 over 3 to the -2. Right? So this becomes 1 over 1 squared, and this becomes 1 over 3 squared. Okay, 1 squared is 1, 1 over 1, that's 1. Okay, but when we divide, so this is dividing 1 over 3 squared, this is also 1 times 3 squared. Okay, and then you'll get 9. Right, whatever way works for you. Okay, so yeah, so we get 9, and then x equals -1, so f of -1 is equal to 1/3 to the -1, so and then that is equal to 3 over 1 to the first power, and then so it's 3. X is equal to 0. Okay, f of 0 is equal to 1/3 to 0, which is 1, and then x equals 1, that's f of 1, so 1/3 to the first is 1/3, and lastly x equals 2, that's f of 2, which is equal to 1/3 squared, which is 1 squared over 3 squared, which is equal to 1 over 9. Right? So our final answers are not, when x is equal to -2, f of x equals 9. -1 will get 3, and then 0, 1, 1/3, and 1/9. Right? So this is how you find values for exponential functions. And then next we will learn how to graph them.